Donald Trump is fearing for his life ahead of the UFC event tonight on his 80th birthday. He's leaking to the press that he fears a fifth assassination attempt, and he's leaking the plans out to the press about how secure the event is going to be, which in my view raises major red flags. But he's also leaking out to numerous outlets that they're worried about a drone strike hitting him tonight, and that there could be drones coming from Iran. I kid you not. There are sources close to Donald Trump and people who are speaking to the press saying that they believe that Iran may be engaged in a mission to avenge Donald Trump assassinating Soleimani back in 2020 by sending drones to kill Donald Trump tonight. Let's just go through the data that we have right now, folks. Take a look right here. This is the plan that Donald Trump has leaked to the press. It's called Ring of Steel. Trump has beefed up security detail to shield every inch of his star-studded UFC Freedom 250th event. Rooftop snipers, the Ring of Steel is here. Secret Service teams, surveillance cameras here, K9 units here, counter-drone systems over here for the Iranian drones that they're saying may strike tonight. I'm not sure leaking these plans is also the best idea if you want to beef up security. This is how The Sun is reporting it. MAGA milestone. How Trump is shrugging off assassination bids and death threats for 80th UFC birthday bash with Fort Knox Ring of Steel. What the hell does it even... What was that sentence that I just read? It just seems like it's raising major red flags that they're going to try to pull something. I don't know. Donald Trump is brushing off a string of assassination bids. It says at the UFC 80th birthday bash. Oh my God, we're supposed to be like, how courageous is this? Is that the reaction? Oh my God, he's going through with the UFC event. Whoa, this guy is strong. Wow, fearless. So ridiculous. A sprawling Secret Service Ring of Steel will shield the celebrations as Trump hosts the world's most high-profile figures. It's not the world's most high-profile figures. What are you talking about? This is like a loser event that I've already seen some of the videos. This thing looks awful. Trump, this is what it says. The president has now survived 4 assassination attempts in a 2-year period. On Sunday, he's staging the mega fight, UFC Freedom 250. What do you mean he survived 4 assassination attempts? We don't even really know what went down in Butler. They haven't really released the records. What they've released is fully redacted. Apparently, Thomas Crooks Jr., the alleged shooter, was having communications with police days before the incident. And then the Trump regime is attacking Tom Fitton, Donald Trump's close friend and former advisor, who had to do a FOIA request to get those records. What are the other 3? People who were far away, who didn't get anywhere close to that? You're saying he survived these things? That they weren't close to him. What are we even talking about? The White House Correspondents' dinner, the May 23rd event in front of the White House, on 17th Street, the event in Mar-a-Lago where the guy wasn't even close. That's what you're counting? Trump says 4,500 people will be able to watch on the lawn itself, and 100,000 people will be able to watch free from the lawn, despite the glitz and glam. What's glitz and glam? Who's writing this article? Is Donald Trump's alter ego AI writing this article? The Secret Service, FBI, and Homeland Security are working to protect Donald Trump. Professor Javed Ali, formerly a senior official in the FBI and Department of Homeland Security, told The Sun that agents will look at a whole number of scenarios. And let me tell you what some of these scenarios are that he basically lists. This event is a magnet for extremists who might wish to go down in history and see Donald Trump get killed. Given the world-class security afforded to presidents past, it is likely Trump's detail will be beefed up. This will be like Fort Knox. It goes on to say large parts of Washington are likely to be locked down, snipers on rooftops, elite commandos, K9 units, counter-drone technology and surveillance cameras shrouding the president and his VIP guests in a ring of steel. Okay, look. all I hear when you're saying these things is that this event is entirely unnecessary, that taxpayers are going to, UFC ain't paying what I just said, okay? Taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for this. And in addition to what I just listed, the MeidasTouch network exclusively reported earlier today that numerous commercial flights are not able to land at Reagan National Airport because this claw ring in the White House is shooting up these like lasers and lights in the sky that are blinding pilots. So people who are just trying to fly into Washington, D.C. can't land and they're being diverted. The ring of steel. Professor Ali said that the FBI is preparing for every scenario, politically motivated lone wolf killers, organized overseas plots, and Iran remains a massive threat, they go on to say in this article. And they say that real and specific threats from Iran exist to assassinate him. We're having a war with Iran, so the list of targets has grown. And they say the continuing Iranian threat resulting from the strike that killed Qasem Soleimani in January 2020. There's a list of targets, and it starts with Donald Trump. The Iranians may seize any opportunity that they have. Dr. Mendoza warns it's not far-fetched to assume that the Iranians may do a drone attack on Donald Trump tonight. We've seen those capabilities improving quite dramatically about what the drones can do. This is what they're using as the pretext to invade Cuba as well. They're like, Cuba has 300 drones that they're directing at Miami. It's like, all right, oh my God. They are very well aware that the dangers might exist, these drones, and how to neutralize them. Then this article goes on to every purported assassination attempt. July 13, 2024, Thomas Crooks shot Donald Trump in the ear after hiding on a roof overlooking the former president. Okay, can we stop with the shot him in the ear thing? There's a lot more that we need to know. If you get shot in the ear or in the face with an AR-15 bullet, it explodes your face. You don't get a little nick. You don't get a little scratch on the ear if you get hit by it. Can we bring common sense back, please? Okay. He didn't get hit in the face with an AR-15 bullet. Okay. So let's put that one aside. September 15, 2024, Ryan Ruth was seen by Secret Service agents hiding in the bushes with their rifle at the Trump International Golf Club. Trump was playing a round of golf when the alleged would-be assassin managed to get within 400 yards of him. April 25th, Cole Thomas Allen allegedly attempted to storm the ballroom of the Washington Hilton and assassinate Trump and his senior associates. May 23rd, 2026, Nasir Best, who reportedly had a long history of mental health issues, opened fire at a White House checkpoint. None of these people, I mean, Thomas Crooks, if that really happened or whatever happened there, at least got, I mean, we know that something happened there, but there's a lot more that's not being revealed. Let me just be clear about it. There's a lot of information being withheld. Let me be that's how I should state it. Nasir Best, a guy who was arrested in 2025 for making threats, who didn't attend his court appearance, and that Jeanine Pirro, the top federal prosecutor in DC, knew about this guy. He was schizophrenic. He believed he was Jesus, and he was going around DC saying that he's Jesus and he wants to shoot people. I mean, he's going out there saying these things. And so you let this schizophrenic guy who's having an episode get close, and then you just shoot and kill him. And you're like, assassination attempt number 4. And then we're going what? The guy from April 25th, White House correspondence, Cole Thomas Allen. Really? That guy didn't get it. But this is what they're going with. And now they're saying the drones are happening. So let's just talk about also some of the red flags that have emerged also. As I mentioned, the newly released FBI records that show a Butler County deputy exchanging email with Thomas Crooks before July 13, 2024. Thomas Fitton, Donald Trump's own top legal advisor. Don't take MeidasTouch words for it, okay? Tom Fitton, who I used to be, and I still am, very critical of this guy, Tom Fitton, and all the stuff that he would do with Donald Trump. But he was Trump's guy. You don't get much closer to Donald Trump on the legal side than Tom Fitton, even though Tom Fitton's not a lawyer. His group, Judicial Watch, was like Trump's right hand during the years when Trump wasn't in office. And this guy was the one who released the emails. It's coming from Trump's own former legal advisor. That's where we're getting it from. So then Trump's FBI attacks him. This is a clickbait lie by Judicial Watch and Tom Fitton. They are a fake news media outlet. Really? Because Donald Trump said that this guy was legit for every time other than this. The unredacted documents are interviews with Thomas Crook's college instructors, not the cops. So it doesn't really say the cops on this redacted document. And then we got the piece of information of Dan Bongino, former deputy FBI director. Remember Todd Lyons? The former acting ICE director who had to walk around with an aide who carried a defibrillator because he kept on having panic attacks and he had to be resuscitated. I kid you not. The former acting head of ICE had a guy follow him around with a defibrillator because of the massive panic attacks he would have. Dan Bongino, I don't know about the defibrillator part, but he would have all the reporting on Bongino is he would like storm out and like cry and have these meltdowns, whether it was over the Trump regime covering up the Epstein files. Like, why are we covering up the Epstein files? He would like run out of the Situation Room as like described in like tears, basically. By the way, I mean, you know, he's a cowardly dude, but like at least he felt shame, I guess, in the Situation Room. And then Tucker Carlson, again, you know, who's very close with Bongino, recounts the story where he heard from Bongino about the cover-up regarding crooks. Bongino, Trump's deputy FBI director, I mean, I'm giving you right-wing people what they're saying, tells Tucker that this is all a cover-up. It's coming from Bongino. And by the way, release the Butler records. Release all these records. Why are they all redacted? Why is the Trump regime hiding everything? And don't you find it very suspicious that right now, on the eve of them announcing this purported peace deal with Iran, they're now leaking out that Iran may try to kill him tonight with drones at the UFC event? I don't know. I just find that to be a little odd, but here's what Tucker said. Let's play it.
I know that about Butler. I know that Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. That is a fact. Dan Bongino told me that when he worked at the FBI. And Dan Bongino himself was terrified when I spoke to him in December. It's such a long, boring story, but basically I came into possession, I beg your pardon, accidentally came into possession of a lot of the social media posts that we were told didn't exist that were posted by Thomas Crooks in the months and years before the shooting. And I was amazed that the FBI had lied about this. So I called Kash Patel and I later called Dan Bongino and I says, you know, what is this? I'm not attacking you. It was the previous FBI administration that did this. It was Chris Wray, but what is this? And Dan Bongino became hysterical with me on the phone. I've known Dan a long time, for many years, and always gotten along with him. You know, whatever his faults, you know, nice guy, certainly very nice to me. I never had a problem with Dan ever. And that problem began when I brought this information to his attention, and he became a different person. He was clearly terrified. I didn't get it at first, but he was hysterical. And ultimately, after a long series of text exchanges, which I still have, and phone conversations, he said, look, take it up with Trump. He's the one who shut down the investigation. And that was, I think, the first or second week of December. I think it was the beginning of the second week of December. I have it written down. But that was the moment and I realized, oh, wow, you know, there's no good explanation for shutting down an investigation into your own attempted murder. Like, this is not what we've been told it was.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. It'll be an interesting one tonight.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.